Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. So welcome, everyone. Like I said, I'm excited, genuinely excited, so grateful to also be here with you guys as we launch the Emerging Professionals community. Whether you're joining live or you're going to sort of watch this replay, thank you for spending this time with me. I want to start off there. And for those who might be meeting me for the very first time, my name is Olwetu Machine, and I'm very passionate about graduates. I'm in the business of transforming graduate potential into real professional excellence. Over the years, from myself being a student, trying to then navigate life and my career as a graduate, to working in early talent as well as the graduate development spaces, I've noticed a huge gap that graduates are constantly being told that they must be work ready, but no one teaches them how to become work ready. We teach theory in university, we give qualifications, but what we do not do is we do not teach confidence in the workplace. We don't teach career navigation. We don't teach professional identity, resilience, or even how to grow intentionally. And what we're finding is that many graduates or young professionals end up feeling like they are very overwhelmed. They feel like they're underprepared. They even doubt themselves. And that realization is what is going to give birth to what we are seeing today, what we're observing today. I see there's three of you guys here. But thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. And I think we can get started. So I just want to start off with something that's very clear. I think I did sort of make a slow introduction, but for those who do not know who I am, let me introduce myself. I'm Olwetu Machine, like I said, and I've started my career. I feel like if we're going to talk about careers, let's talk about the very beginning of university, right? Navigating that university space. Okay, a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. That's all I needed to know, that I am audible. Okay, we can go. Now I can go with confidence. Now I'm confident to go and carry on. So thank you for that. Appreciate that thumbs up. Okay, so I'm Olwetu Machine. We can go back as far as early career. Let's talk about early career, university, navigating that space, to now finding myself as a graduate, to then navigating corporate, and then managing graduates in that space as well. So I've had quite a lengthy career, and it's still going, it's still progressing. But if you're familiar with me on LinkedIn, you would know that I am very much interested within the early talent space. This timeline that you see in front of you, this represents my journey, the lessons, the struggles, the growth, the moments that showed me very clearly, like we said, we don't just need degrees. We need development, we need community, and we need real life career guidance. And that is why I created the Emerging Professionals community. That is why I created this particular platform. I'm going to take you guys through this platform. I'm going to take you through what to expect, how to become part of a member, and just the perks and the benefits of the work that I'm actually doing at the moment. So before we start with that, we have to rewind back to 2025, right? So what was happening in 2025? We launched the very first edition of the Graduate Voices Survey, okay? This is where we need to ground ourselves. This is where it all began. We launched the first edition. And the purpose of the survey was very simple, but yet powerful. What we wanted to do, or what I wanted to do, was to capture real graduate and student experiences around the transition from university into the workplace. So we did not want assumptions. We did not want any corporate perspective, but we're looking for real reality. So this pilot survey gathered voices from over 100 students and graduates across South Africa. And what we're specifically trying to understand was, how prepared were young people, and how did they feel about entering the working environment? What support they expected versus what they experienced? Where the biggest transition challenges actually lied? And what actually makes this even more meaningful is that it was a fully independent project. No corporate funding, no partnerships, no institutions driving or even backing it. It was purely built from the community the LinkedIn community, to be specific, that was built with trust, that was built in engagement. So I'm so grateful for you guys for showing up for this project, because it really were able to drive a lot of insights that I'm going to share with you guys. A pilot that was designed, like I said, to test, to learn, and to begin building a national early talent insight platform. So that is what we were doing. That's the project itself, and we were able to collect all that data in less than 2 weeks. Can we just put a round of applause for the power of LinkedIn and just how engaged my graduate community is? I'm so grateful for you guys. Now, I want to share a few things with you guys, and I want to look at 3 core insights that I'm comfortable sharing regarding with some of the data that we've already picked. Now, while the full Graduate Voices Insight report will be released soon, I just want to walk you guys through these 3 major insights that have already stood out very clearly, and especially from the data. And these 3 insights will help us really challenge how we think about graduate readiness, okay? The first insight is that we were able to pick up from the 100 voices is graduates are not struggling because they lack talent or capability. Okay, a lot of the times you'll find people go like, we want graduates that are work ready, we want graduates that are competent, they must be able to hit the ground running. This survey is telling us that graduates are not struggling because they lack talent or they are not capable. Okay, that is the misconception. In fact, if we looked at the student survey, where we looked at students that are preparing to enter the workplace. Remember, we did 2 surveys. We did the student survey, we did the graduate survey. The student survey was focused on final year students that are preparing to enter the working environment. And what we found was that these students saw high levels of confidence, they had strong rated skills, and they were really genuine and eager to contribute and perform well in a working environment. But when we actually listened to graduates who are already working there, so we now looked at the graduates that are interns and graduates or entry-level professionals within their field-specific discipline. What we then found was that many spoke about feeling unprepared. So even though students felt confident about the working environment, when they entered the working environment, it is the complete opposite. They feel unprepared for the real work environment, not because, like I said, they lack knowledge, but because expectations are not clear. Onboarding that they experienced was inconsistent, and the support varied across the teams in which they did their role rotations. A lot of graduates describe having it or trying to figure it out alone. Okay, that's what they've mentioned, which tells me something very important, that young people are entering the workplace capable, they're entering the workplace motivated, but many organizations are not intentionally designing the transition from campus to career. So the real issue is not graduate readiness. It is the transition design. And then I want to share with you guys a second insight, which is also powerful. Students already know what will help them succeed even before they start working. They're aware. They know what graduate or work readiness competencies look like. Okay, so they spoke very clearly in terms of what the expectations are. They spoke about wanting to have clear expectations. They spoke about having or wanting structured work plans when they enter the working environment. They want regular feedback. They want managers who coach them and who guide them. And they want to feel like that the work that they're doing feels meaningful and is developmental. But when graduates, okay, now we're talking about graduates now when they're in the working environment and they're now speaking on their lived experiences in the workplace, many of those things that I've mentioned that students expect are missing in the working environment. Instead, what these graduates are describing is that they have seen that they have unclear roles, they have very little feedback that they receive, they are literally learning through trial and error, and the managers who were technically strong, okay, are not always equipped to develop people. So they might be the smartest engineers, accountants in the industry, but they do not know how to coach. They do not know how to develop professionals. Now, which this shows us is the following, that basically young talent is already telling organizations that they need or what they need to thrive. And the workplace is often not delivering on these basics. And here's the key part. These are not complex solutions. They are simple developmental practices that are just not being implemented consistently. Okay? Now, the third insight I want to share is that, or what I would say the most influential driver of all, is that across both students and graduates, one factor kept shaping experiences more than anything else. And I want you guys to guess what that is, okay? That is the line managers. Students enter the working environment expecting guidance, coaching, and support. That's what they want. Ne? They want to actually experience, and then graduates then experience dramatically different realities depending who they're reporting to. So we might have graduates who work for the same company, but because they're in a different department or they're under a different supervisor, they have a completely different graduate experiences. Where managers invest time, where they provide feedback and they create psychological safety in spaces, what we've noticed is that graduates are now growing faster, they're gaining confidence, and they're performing better. When managers don't, graduates are still, or they still are in survival mode, okay? The anxiety increases and the learning also slows down. Almost every graduate highlighted, guys, that managers need stronger coaching and developmental skills. So from the graduates that did the survey, 96% of them stated that the managers that they've been under are in strong need of some level of coaching skill sets as well as developmental skills, which tells us the story that early career success lives and it dies in the hands of graduate line managers. Now, these three insights, guys, together already show us why early talent development needs a fundamental shift. Okay, so how are you guys finding these insights so far? Hope you guys are well there. Okay, we see there's 5 people. No, I don't care whether there's one person or whatever, because the message is important. What we're doing here is we are making history. So I'm so glad you're on the call with me. Just quickly confirm again, a thumbs up. Just let me know that you guys can hear me. We're still audible. We're still audible. We're still audible. And then I can continue from my side. Perfect. So I then want to talk about 2026, right? Because that was 2025, which was the first edition. We're now in 2026, and we are launching the second edition of the Graduate Voices Insight Survey. Building on what we've learned from the 2025 pilot, the 2026 Graduate Voices Insight Survey is going deeper, and it's becoming even more intentional, okay? We are doing 5 surveys in total, and we are measuring 5 key early career transition pillars. These pillars, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Okay, that lets me know that there's actually human beings here. I'm not talking to myself, so thank you for that thumbs up. Okay, these pillars that I've mentioned, these 5 key pillars, are going to help us understand not just what graduate experience, but what the workplace systems and the leadership practices truly drive early career performance, they drive confidence, as well as long-term career success in South Africa. Now, if we're going to build on the success and the learning from the 2025 pilot, one thing I know for sure is that, again, it is not one survey, but we are going to be part of a living ecosystem, guys, okay? Because what I've noticed, or what I know to be true, is that an engaged community of emerging professionals who are able to contribute their voices consistently and grow through a structured development program and career support will lead to engaged participants that will participate in the survey. Now, I want to share with you guys what the core themes of the 2026 Graduate Voices Insight Survey will be covering. But I always say, or what I've noticed, that many academics, they complain that we cannot find respondents, we cannot find participants. Okay, we cannot find participants, we cannot find respondents that are engaged or want to take surveys. People do not want to take surveys. I don't want to take surveys. But guess what? When you've got an ROI or an incentive to go like, okay, if I take this survey, I'm able to unlock training for myself that's going to equip and build my career. I'm able to be a part of an ecosystem, a community of like-minded graduates, okay, on a private platform, which I'm going to tell you and show you what it looks like. But imagine that. Imagine that when you give your voice, and in exchange for that, you're able to build community, you're able to increase your work readiness skills, you're able to accelerate your performance. That is what I'm proposing. Let's start creating some level of engagement in our participants. We cannot expect people to participate in our surveys and not want to give back in any form or shape. So I feel like the trade-off is very fair, right? We're trading your voices for community, for work readiness, okay? Now, I'm going to share with you guys the 5 key themes that we're going to be covering. The first one is, here we go, psychological safety, right? Which is already available, surprisingly. If you didn't know, survey number 1 is already open and available. Okay, so it talks about onboarding, belonging, and psychological safety. This is what I call the theme of being rooted. This looks at how welcomed graduates feel, how quickly they're able to integrate into teams, and whether they feel safe to ask questions, make mistakes, and truly belong in their organizations. Because what I've seen is that when people feel rooted, they learn faster and they perform better. Okay, like I said, survey 1 is available. And if you complete survey 1, you're able to not only you're able to access the masterclass, né? But I'm going to share with you guys the process. I'm also going to put the links in the chat as well on the consent form, as well as the links to survey 1, so you can get that started. The second pillar is rotation and role design. And this is what I call the tourist versus the contributor, or what we call flux. Here, we're going to explore whether graduates are simply rotating through departments, observing work, or whether they are being given real responsibility and meaningful contributions that really build their confidence and competence. The third area of the survey that we're going to be covering is speed to mastery and career capital. What I'm trying to understand is, I want to understand how quickly are graduates developing real skills? How quickly are they building their professional capability? How quickly are they accumulating experiences in their current work environment? And how does that actually accelerate their career rather than them just passing time in programs? Have we not seen or heard about people who are in internship programs, who are in leadership programs, and they say, all right, I have not been working for the past month. I've been folding my arms. No one is giving me work. I'm told to make coffee. I'm told to print stuff. I'm just an admin person. But no one is giving me actual work, and I'm not learning anything. Too many times graduates are underutilized, and that is what the speed to mastery and career capital survey is going to help us pick up and measure. The fourth survey is going to look at manager capability, supervision versus coaching. This will measure whether managers are they just simply assigning tasks and checking performance? Do they just care about the numbers and the ROI, or are they actively coaching as well? Are they coaching graduates? Are they developing graduates? Are they growing the early talent pipeline in their organization? And finally, the last pillar of our survey is going to look at progression, absorption, and career capital. Here, we're going to look at whether graduates can see a future in their organizations. I want to know that the graduates that are working in these organizations, do they see a future? Do they want to stay there? Or are they already looking for other roles because they're not satisfied? Are the career pathways within their field or disciplines clear? Do they know what the next step looks like? Do they know what a future in this organization looks like? Whether early career experiences are leading to real long-term opportunities, that is what I want to measure with this survey. So, guys, together, all these 5 surveys are going to form part of the second edition of the Graduate Voices Insight Report. These pillars will give us a much deeper, more practical understanding of what truly drives early career success in South Africa. Okay, I hope you guys are excited to hear that. Let me share my screen. Let me go to the next page. So these are the 5 key themes of work readiness. So these are the 5 master classes that I am going to be hosting. These are going to be live master classes that are going to be hosted on the platform that I am launching. Okay. The first masterclass was already launched. Okay. We already did the first masterclass in January. We had some graduates there already. But even if you missed it, we have the pre-recording. So even though it's not a live masterclass, you're still able to access the masterclass in the platform when you complete survey 1. So these are the 5 masterclasses that you can expect this year from the Emerging Professional Community platform. Now, insight is powerful, but insight without development does not create change. What is the point of me gathering all this data and all this insight from these graduates if I'm not training them, if I'm not equipping them, if I'm not making them competent? That is why inside the Emerging Professionals community, I've built a structured work readiness program that is designed to intentionally support your early career growth. This program focuses on what universities often don't teach, but the workplace expects you to know. So you're not being taught these things, but when you get into the workplace, then they expect you to know these things. Okay. So I'm doing 5 pillars. I'm teaching you guys 5 pillars. The first masterclass is going to look at understanding your career season and professional identity. This is about helping you recognize where you are in your career journey today, and then how you can build the right mindset, the right skills, the right behaviors for that phase. Because when you understand your season, you stop comparing your journey and you start developing strategically. You cannot, if you've already done your goals for the year, especially if you've done your career goals, you've done it incorrectly, because you cannot do career planning without understanding and identifying your career season. You cannot do your career planning without understanding what your current professional identity is, because how do you build a future identity or a future professional identity if you do not know what the current professional identity looks like? And these are the things I'm going to teach. I teach on the masterclass. I've taught on this particular masterclass. Okay, so you really want to do this. Now, the second masterclass is going to be the career flow chart and the 5 keys to effective career planning. So I always advise that can you do the masterclasses numerically? So you can't, if maybe you join the platform in August, and all 5, or maybe we're now at survey 3. You can't start at survey 3. I would always advise, let's go to the very beginning to survey 1, right? So that you're able to complete work readiness program or the masterclass number 1, because all of it ties so beautifully together. So it's the career flow chart as well as the 5 effective key to effective career planning. Okay. The third pillar is understanding the landscape of the modern work environment, right? I'm going to teach you guys, what does career context look like? How do you navigate a modern working environment? The fourth one I'm going to teach is the 4th masterclass is going to be on business acumen. How do you navigate business acumen? How do you understand the business of the organization? How do you use that skill set, develop that skill set, and then use it for your own, and use it for your own usefulness in terms of navigation or career navigation. And the 5th I'm going to talk about is technical skills. I'm going to tell you and teach you, how do you track your development? How do you track your development? How do you do a proper skills analysis? How do you track your technical skills level? How do you measure it? How do you ask for performance feedback? All these things that you need to know, so that you, as you navigate in your program, you know exactly how you're ranking and how you're tracking, so that you're moving in your program with intentionality. Now, all these 5 masterclasses are going to create a strong foundation for all the members who are part of my emerging professional community for early career success. Because I'm not just helping you survive work, but I'm helping you grow. I'm helping you to perform. I'm helping you to progress with clarity and confidence. This work readiness program is the backbone of the emerging professionals community. It's what's going to turn graduate potential into real world professional excellence. Now, I want to now introduce the platform to you guys, okay? And we are calling it the Emerging Professional Community. And before I start with that, I just want to briefly explain where the platform is going to be hosted. The name for some of you guys might sound a little bit familiar. You might have seen me launch a private LinkedIn group. This LinkedIn group is still active, but we are now deactivating it. We're moving the LinkedIn group into a platform called Skool. Because what I've noticed is that LinkedIn does not have certain features in which this new platform has, which is going to allow for more engagement and more interaction. So it is going to be hosted on a platform called Skool, which I believe is the perfect platform for what we are building, especially compared to LinkedIn. Skool is a private learning and community platform that is designed specifically for growth and development. So it's basically built for structured learning, not scattered posts that we're going to do. Everything is structured. We're going to have real interaction, not just likes and comments, ongoing coaching as well as development. And then it's going to be a central space for content, for masterclass replays, for career resources, for surveys, for meaningful discussions. Everything is going to live in this one organized environment where you can actually engage, where you can actually learn, where you can actually grow consistently. And the biggest difference is this, that on this Skool platform, you don't just consume content, you belong to a community. You will be surrounded by emerging professionals who are navigating similar career season challenges and transitions, okay? You will also have direct access to me. Now, if you guys remember, I thought I was going to be that girl now who's going to be very active on YouTube. I even set my first YouTube live and I canceled. I was like, no, I think I do. I contribute so much into this community that if you want access to me, which is going to be in a form of group coaching, you're going to have to be a member, okay? You're going to have to be part of the Skool membership, okay? So I'm not doing lives, okay? This is probably going to be the only live I'm doing this year. All my lives are going to be on the platform, okay? I'm going to be hosting weekly Q&A conversations, informal chats with my graduates on this platform, okay? Now, like I said, you're not just consuming content, you belong to a community, okay? And you also have direct access to me, which I feel like is a bonus, okay? As the early career coach, we're going to have live webinars, practical resources, like I said, guided conversations that are there to support your career growth. So instead of scrolling, you're going to be developing. Instead of growing alone, you're going to grow together, okay? Now, let's talk about who can actually participate in this particular platform. Who can join this community? What is the eligibility of you to become a member? Now, you might be wondering, who's this platform for exactly? At its core, the Emerging Professionals community is designed for graduates and early career professionals who are currently employed, okay? So you have to be employed. So if you're a student, you will not be eligible this year to join the platform, but when you do start working in your first job as a graduate, learner, intern, wherever, you are now eligible to join this platform. So you need to be employed either in a graduate program, in an internship program, in a learnership program, in a field-specific entry-level role, okay? But here's the catch. We are not dealing with seasoned professionals here, okay? Seasoned professionals, they can afford coaches. I'm only focusing on emerging professionals here. You can go into this program if you have less than 5 years of work experience, okay? So even if let's say you're in a graduate program, and you're in a 1-year internship program, right? And you got into a permanent role. As long as you've got less than 5 years of field-specific work experience, then you are eligible to enter the platform and become a member. Now, when it comes to participating in the Graduate Voices Insight survey, there's one important focus that I need to also reiterate. To complete the monthly surveys, right? So by completing the monthly surveys that are going to come out, the 5 surveys that I spoke about, you're able to unlock live masterclasses, meaning that even though you can become a member with 5 or less than 5 years work experience, the surveys are only eligible to professionals who have less than 3 years of work experience. Because again, this keeps the research focused on true early career transitions experiences. I'd initially only allowed less than 3 years, but I had a lot of people going like, but already too, some of us just left our graduate programs. We feel like we still need this development. And of course, the concept of emerging professionals is always changing, right? So allowing professionals with less than 5 years, meaning that you can still participate in the content that we're posting there. You can still be part of the community. You can still engage in the community. You can participate in the discussions. You can also engage in the peer learning. You can also attend my live Q&A sessions that I'm going to be having there, okay? But you will not be able to join the live masterclasses. But yet, again, there's a lot of benefit, right? Okay, now, what I also want to mention is that, again, the only difference is at this stage, you're not going to be able to access, like I said, the live masterclasses. You're not going to be able to complete the monthly surveys, but you still benefit hugely from the ecosystem, the support, and the shared learning on this platform. So I want you to still feel encouraged to actually join. Okay, so the next thing again. So step number 1, you complete the consent form. Once that is done, you're going to receive your private Skool invite within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, just remember to please check your spam as well as your promotion folders on your Gmail account or wherever. And then again, a word of advice, please download the Skool app for easy access. Now, let me just quickly explain how the masterclasses work, because this is where the learning, the growth really comes to life inside the platform. Like I said, for emerging professionals with less than 3 years of work experience, access is directly linked to your survey participation. Every month or every second month, you're going to complete one Graduate Voices Insight survey, and that automatically unlocks access to that month's live masterclass. So when you do the survey, you're then going to have access to the invite, or you'll be given exclusive invites to the upcoming masterclass. Okay. Once you attend the live session, or even if you can't make it, there's going to be a full replay that is going to be uploaded inside the Skool platform. So you're never really missing out on learning. So you're able to watch at your own pace as many times as you need, and you can revisit any key lessons whenever you want. There's also a workbook for each masterclass that you can also download and print out. All masterclasses replays are stored in one central learning space inside the community. There, like I said, there's going to be worksheets, there's going to be tools, discussion prompts, and we'll be hosting an additional Q&A session on the platform as well. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to share with you guys a quick demo. Sorry. So this is basically the demo that I want to share with you guys. Now, instead of just talking about the community, I just also want to show you what it actually looks like in real life. So in this quick demo that I'm going to share with you guys quickly, you're going to see how the emerging professional community is structured, where the learning content lives, how masterclasses and resources are organized, where discussions and peer engagement happens, as well as how the survey is integrated into the platform. Okay, so as you watch, I want you to imagine yourself inside the space, logging in, learning, connecting, and growing intentionally in your career. The platform, guys, is already live. So it launched about a week or 2 back, but now we're doing the official launch. We'll be opening it up in public. We have been advertising. So this is just, I thought, let me just go on LinkedIn and really explain with a PowerPoint slide, okay? Show you guys what I've been talking about. So again, this is where Q&A and live sessions are going to happen. This is where the live masterclasses are scheduled. This is where the community support happens. And this is where your early career development ecosystem comes to life. So let me just quickly just add to this on the stage and share this video for you guys to watch. Okay.
This is the community tab where you'll see posts and comments. Here's the classroom where you'll find courses. Here's the calendar where you'll find calls or events. You can attend live or add them to your calendar. And here's a map where you can see where everybody is. This is great for making friends. To keep up with the community, there's posts. You can open them like this, you can like them, leave a comment, and you can click this bell to get notified when there's a new activity. You can view people's profiles like this and follow them to be notified when they post. You can message them privately like this. You can access your settings here to change your profile or notification preferences. Complete the onboarding here by commenting on a post and downloading the app. Welcome to the community. Have fun.
Hope this gave you a lot of insight and just gave you like a practical idea in terms of what this platform looks like. Okay, so I just want to go to the previous in terms of, I think I did share in terms of what that looks like. I also just want to introduce you guys to something very special, okay? And that is going to be what I call the Emerging Leaders Collective, okay? It isn't just about learning, but it's also about building together. So in celebration of the official launch of our Emerging Professionals community, I'm introducing our very first ambassador program, which I'm going to be calling it the Founding Emerging Leaders Collective, okay? And this is more than just a referral campaign, right? It is an opportunity to be part of the very first leadership group within our community. And that's what's up for grabs. So I'm going to be selecting 2 graduates to receive a fully sponsored one-on-one career coaching program with me, valued at the price of 6,000 Rand. So this is going to be a real coaching journey focused on career clarity, strategic positioning, intentional growth. Now, this is how the ambassador program works. So if you want to become ambassador, okay, number 1, you need to actually complete the consent form, meaning you need to be eligible, okay? You need to be eligible to be part of the Skool platform. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but the Skool platform is for free. You don't have to pay for it, in case you're wondering. This is a free platform, okay? So you need to have less than 3 years of work experience to be part of this ambassador program. And then what you need to do is you need to complete the consent form. Then you have access and be able to join the Skool community platform. And then you then have to then refer people. Okay, then you're able to, or you can start referring people, meaning that you can share the links. Okay, here's the QR code if you also want to, or actually, you can actually use the QR code now, actually, if you want to. I don't know if you're watching from your laptop or wherever, but you can use this particular QR code. I'm also going to share it on the chat as well after this live. I'm going to share the QR code. I'm going to share the consent form link. I'm going to share the survey link as well for the first survey. So every time someone you refer, so when you refer someone, they need to be eligible to join the Skool platform, meaning that they need to have less than 5 years. But for you to become a referrer, you need to have less than 3 years. Okay, so then the person would complete the consent form, they join the Skool community platform. But remember, in the consent form, there's a last question that asks you, did someone refer you to the program? So whoever is going to, or whoever you've referred, they must put your name there. Okay, and then that will earn you 1 verified referral. After 2 weeks, the top 2 referrers are going to then win the sponsored coaching program. But beyond the prize, you're also going to become founding members of the Emerging Leaders Collective. This is going to be an exclusive group in our community, and there are going to be a lot of future opportunities that are going to be unlocked. The leadership roles in the community and the special perks as well, which will be part of the ecosystem. Now, even if you don't win, you are not the top referrer, right? You don't win the prize. I am still going to recruit from the pool of graduates who were considered referrers. So when I choose my elite group, my exclusive group to form part of this, who are going to also be part of the Skool community, I'm going to recruit them from people who were referred. Okay, so that also gives you an opportunity to also be part of this particular leader collective which will still be part of the Skool platform. Okay. The QR code is here. You can scan it, and it will give you access to the consent form links. Secondly, I'm going to put again the consent form link in the chat after the session, and then you can then copy and paste that to share on your WhatsApp group, LinkedIn, across your professional networks. Okay. But remember two important things. To become a referrer, you need to complete the consent form because that allows you to become a member of Skool. Your referrals, again, like I said, any referrals that the people that are going to refer you, they need to have your name in the consent form. That's how I'm going to count the number of referrals. Okay. So I was going to end this campaign on the 6th of March, but I'm going to probably extend it because I did launch this a bit later than I should have. So I'm probably going to extend it another week or two. So this is definitely a huge opportunity to get the opportunity to be part of a coaching program with me, where I'm going to be offering a one-on-one coaching session for 5 sessions for free, absolutely free for 2 graduates. So you do not want to miss that opportunity. Okay. Now, where are we? Let's talk about partnerships. Okay. Now, while this community is going to grow organically through LinkedIn, my vision is to make it bigger, and I don't want it to just grow. I don't want to grow it alone. I want to partner up with people. Okay, because as though I'm on LinkedIn, I might have a certain amount of followers. These kind of things require access, visibility to as many graduates as possible. Okay. The emerging professional community, like I said, is designed to be an ecosystem, and ecosystems grow through partnership. That is why I'm intentionally opening up collaboration opportunities only with NGOs, okay, that are focused on youth development employability. Okay, so NGOs that have graduates, okay, in their program or work with young professionals in their programs. I'm also focusing on university alumni networks. So if you're part of a university and you work under the alumni division in any capacity, and you're able to access alumni from your university through your portal, and you want to give them this opportunity as an extended service or extended advantage of being part of that university alumni network, I'm also open for partnership there, as well as for student support initiatives as well. So the goal is twofold. Firstly, to increase access so that more graduates and emerging professionals, especially those who may not have access to formal coaching or developmental resources, can actually benefit from this community. Secondly, I want to strengthen the impact, okay? By partnering with organizations, right? We're already supporting young talent. We can collaboratively improve graduate transitions, workplace readiness, early career success across South Africa. The impact is incremental. So now for partners, this becomes a value add resource for your graduates. So instead of support ending a graduation or program completion, graduates can gain ongoing development, coaching, community, and career clarity. I want to get to as many graduates in South Africa as possible. And for the community, again, it means we get diverse voices, we get richer insights and data and stronger networks. So if you're part of an NGO, alumni structure, or graduate program, and you want one, or you want to benefit from this, I would absolutely love to explore that collaboration, because when we work together, we don't just grow membership, we grow opportunity, we grow confidence, as well as long-term career success. Okay. So now we're here. What are the next steps? Now, let me take you to the next steps and make them very clear so that you know exactly how to get involved starting today. Step number 1, you complete the consent form. Okay. So you will then find, I'm going to put a link after the session in the comments section, and it will also be available on my LinkedIn profile in the link in my bio. So if you go to my LinkedIn, my profile, there's a bio there. There's a link there. You click that link, you will find the consent form link there. Okay. Once you've completed that, you'll then receive a private Skool invite within 24 to 48 hours. Step number 2 is then you complete survey number 1. By completing survey number 1, you immediately unlock access to masterclass number 1. I always say it's better to just do the consent form and immediately do the survey, so that when I add you to the platform, I give you immediate access to masterclass 1. Masterclass 1 is focusing on the topic of the 5 keys to unlocking your career season and professional identity. You'll receive the masterclass details and access inside the community to watch the replay. Now, here's what's coming next. Next month, I'm going to be launching survey number 2, and I'm going to be opening enrollment for masterclass number 2. I will be announcing the live masterclass date inside the community and also on LinkedIn and my social medias. So I'm on across all social medias. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and there you'll find my name as Elevate Your Early Career. So I'm not all the way to machine there. I'm at Elevate Your Early Career. So I'll be announcing that. So keep an eye out for that. Master 2 is going to focus on the career flow chart and 5 keys to effective career planning. Okay, so in short, what I'm saying is that you complete the consent form, you get community access. You complete survey 1, masterclass 1 is unlocked. You complete survey 2, masterclass 2, which is coming soon, you will then get the exclusive invite when we go live. This is a journey of continuous learning, of insight and growth. It is not a once-off event. So I'm so happy to have you guys part of it. And the heart of this platform is simple. We're there to inform, we're there to inspire, and we're there to interact. And I genuinely cannot wait to welcome you guys inside the platform and start building intentional careers together. Okay, so in summary, as we close, let me bring everything together in these 5 key points. The emerging professional community is a complete early career development ecosystem. It's not just a random group, okay? What we're doing here is it brings everything together. We're looking at structured learning. We're looking at coaching. We're looking at peer support. We're looking at research insight and real workplace preparation in one intentional space. The Work Readiness Program gives you what universities don't. We're looking at career planning. We're looking at professional identity, to workplace dynamics, business acumen, real work exposure. Everything here is designed to help you transition confidently into the world of work. And I'm sorry to say that even most graduates do not offer such an opportunity. Do you guys have an opportunity where you are able to connect with other graduates across South Africa? Okay, build actual intentional professional networks while learning skill sets that you are going to then utilize and practice in your working environment. Okay, the platform is built for growth and not scrolling. Skool will give you one central place for masterclasses, for replays, for resources, discussions, everything, live engagement, so that your development here is organized, it's continuous. Your development is powered through participation, not payment. This is for free, okay? By completing the short monthly surveys, you unlock masterclasses and practical career tools that accelerate your growth. This is a community built to grow opportunities together. Through partnerships, ambassadors, peer learning, shared insight, we are building a national career ecosystem that supports graduates long after university ends. This isn't just a program. It is a platform. It is a community. It is a movement for intentional career growth. And I'm so excited to welcome you guys inside. Now, before we wrap up, I want to make sure that you know exactly where to find me and how we can stay connected beyond today's session. For any questions, partnerships, support surrounding the emerging professionals community, you can reach me directly on email here, elevateyourEarlyCareer@gmail.com. You can contact my business contact number. I'm also available on WhatsApp, preferably on WhatsApp. I've got my business number here. You can also stay connected with me across multiple social media platforms where I'm going to be sharing ongoing career insights, updates, masterclasses, and research progress. Okay, so you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Olotu Machine, obviously. Again, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm Elevate Your Early Career. And this is where, like I said, I'll be posting community updates, masterclasses, announcement, new saver launches regularly. Okay. So again, quick access, again, join. It's very simple. I'm going to share all the links after the session. I'm going to share all the links on my comments section. Okay. You'll find there the consent form, and I'm also going to share survey link number 1. Okay. And if you're too impatient for that, you can quickly go to my profile. I've got a link there on my bio. Where you can then complete consent form and you'll receive your Skool invite within 24 to 48 hours. From there, you can also complete survey 1 and unlock your first masterclass immediately. Simple, quick, and intentional. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Before we go, I know before we wrap up, I'd love, and I'm open for any questions, reflections, or thoughts. If you want to post something on the chat, you are most welcome to do so. Anything regarding the emerging professionals community, the work readiness program, the graduate voices survey, the masterclasses, how to access them, partnership opportunities, anything, even career related. If you want to, you can also enter that in the chat. This is your moment. You can drop your questions in the chat now. I'll work through them as many as I can. But also there isn't such a thing such as a small question. So if you're thinking about it, someone else probably is thinking about the same thing too. So let's have some real conversations. Okay, guys. Okay. Let me just quickly check if there's any questions or any comments. If you can just give me 2 seconds as I just check from the other side, as I'm not getting anything. Oh, I just got one comment. Homoto, hi ma'am. I have a comment, not a question. I'd like to say thank you very much for this. This will really help us a lot in terms of the emerging professionals, and it is my absolute pleasure. This is what I do, and I feel like the more support we get, the more visibility we get, we can really change what work readiness looks like. We can change and give a narrative to what graduate professional networks could look like. This is literally a blue ocean shift in terms of how data is collected. Because remember, instead of just telling people to do stuff, give them something in return, develop them, coach them, right? And yeah, we are literally changing the course in terms of what early talent looks like, research looks like, professional networking looks like. And I cannot wait to have you guys on the platform. If you've missed this live, this is going to be a replay. So you'll still have the opportunity to sort of be able to watch this from your side. So it's never a missed opportunity. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream here, saying thank you to everyone who's joined, wishing you guys an absolutely amazing day, night ahead, weekend as well. And until next time, I will see you guys as I post my content on LinkedIn. And I am Olotu Machine, and I'm in the business of transforming graduate potential into professional excellence. Take care, everyone.